In a distant future, humanity had spread across the stars like wildfire, colonizing planets and establishing trade routes in every direction. The United Stellar Alliance, USA, governed this vast expanse of human space with an iron fist wrapped in velvet diplomacy. But there was one peculiar thing about their galactic map. It ended abruptly at the edge of what they called human space. Beyond that boundary lay uncharted territories, regions where no ship dared to venture, no probe returned, and no signal penetrated. It wasn't just a matter of resources or technology. It was as though the universe itself conspired to keep humans from venturing further. No one talked about it openly. In fact, most people didn't even notice. School textbooks glossed over the topic, media outlets avoided it entirely, and politicians redirected questions with practiced ease. Yet for those who cared to look closely enough, the silence was deafening. Why did all exploration missions mysteriously fail beyond certain coordinates? Why were records of deep space expeditions classified under layers of encryption so dense that even quantum computers couldn't crack them? And why did anyone who asked too many questions tend to vanish without a trace? Captain Elias Voss was not a man prone to curiosity. He was pragmatic, disciplined, and fiercely loyal to the USA. As commander of the Odyssey, a state-of-the-art exploration vessel, his job was simple: chart new worlds within approved limits, gather data, and bring glory to humanity's ever-expanding empire. But lately, something gnawed at him, a question he couldn't shake, no matter how hard he tried to bury it beneath duty and routine. What lay beyond the edge of the map? It started innocently enough. During a routine mission near the frontier planet of Epsilon 9, Elias stumbled upon an ancient artifact buried beneath kilometers of ice. At first glance, it appeared to be nothing more than a jagged shard of metal, but when scanned, it emitted frequencies unlike anything the crew had ever encountered. Stranger still, the artifact seemed to pulse faintly in response to their proximity, almost as though it were alive. Elias reported the discovery immediately, expecting accolades and promotions. Instead, he received orders to destroy the object and erase all records of its existence. When he questioned the directive, he was met with cold indifference. "That's above your pay grade, Captain," Admiral Kalin had said, her voice sharp, enough to cut steel. "Focus on your mission." But Elias couldn't let it go. Over the next few weeks, fragments of information began to surface. Whispers among old pilots, redacted files hidden in forgotten archives, and cryptic warnings, scrawled on crumbling documents. They all pointed to the same conclusion. The boundary of human space was not a natural phenomenon. Something or someone had imposed it. Determined to uncover the truth, Elias assembled a small team of trusted officers. Lieutenant Mara Solis, the ship's brilliant astrophysicist, Ensign Theo Grant, a young but resourceful engineer, and Commander Ria Torres, a seasoned navigator with a reputation for bending rules. Together, they devised a plan to slip past the border undetected using experimental cloaking technology developed by Theo. If successful, they would become the first humans in centuries to venture into the unknown. As the Odyssey approached the edge of the map, tension aboard the ship reached a fever pitch. Sensors flickered erratically, and strange distortions filled the viewport, a swirling miasma of light and shadow that defied comprehension. Mara hypothesized that they were entering some kind of dimensional rift, while Theo muttered nervously about quantum anomalies. Even Ria, usually unflappable, gripped the controls tighter than usual. Then, without warning, the ship lurched forward, and everything went black. When the lights came back on, the crew found themselves in a place unlike anything they'd ever seen. Stars burned brighter here, their colors shifting in impossible hues. Planets floated aimlessly, untethered by gravity, and colossal structures loomed in the distance. Monuments to civilizations long gone, But what truly chilled them to the bone was the presence of other ships. Dozens of them, each bearing designs far beyond human engineering, drifted silently through the void. "Are we alone?" Theo whispered, his voice trembling. Before anyone could answer, a massive vessel emerged from the darkness. Its shape was fluid, constantly shifting, as if it were alive. A single beam of light shot out, scanning the Odyssey from bow to stern. Then, a voice echoed through the ship, not in words, but in thoughts, resonating directly in their minds. "You have crossed the threshold," it said. "Why do you come?" Elias stepped forward, his heart pounding. "We're here to learn the truth," he replied, his voice steady despite the fear coursing through him. "Why does the map end? What's out here?" For a moment, there was only silence. Then the voice spoke again, its tone heavy with sorrow. "Because you are not ready."